Hey guys, it's Steve Cat5JUF. So I'm playing around with RT Systems a little bit more, and I was going to run some videos just so you could kind of watch it. So what I did here, I made a boo-boo on one of my programs. So what I'm going to do here, this is an old program here, so I'm going to close this tab, and then I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to open up. This is the file that I worked on earlier this week. Yeah, that's the right file, 7:30 a.m. And I'll show you the mistake I made. I was testing the repeaters today, and this repeater right here, that KE5LGG, guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to put a tone on it. So when I went to test it, it didn't work. So I'm going to add the tone real quick. It's a tone-only repeater, and the tone is, let me see here. I want to say it's 88.5. It is 88.5. So we're going to go over here to 88.5. And we're going to fix that. And other than that, all the other repeaters worked fine. So I'm going to save that. And what I'll do next is I'm going to go fix it on the other files. I'm going to go to the 7250. And this is an old program here. I'm going to close it out. I'm going to open up the file I worked on. There it is right there. Let's see. That's not the right file. I got to find it here. FTM standby. See what the problem here is. Hold on here. Okay, so it looks like the FT7250 file, for some reason, I've lost it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back and I'm going to open up the 300, which is a good file. I'm going to export it. Let's see here. I'm going to export this file. Let's see here. I've got this stuff here. I've got to find all this information here. This is OneDrive. I've got all this stuff located in my ham radio folder. And maybe that's why the 7250 wasn't working. Let me go back to that real quick. Open. I'm going to close the tab real quick. I'm going to open. And yeah, that was in the right place, so that's not the problem. Somehow I messed up the 7250 file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the 300 file, and this one is the one I just corrected. Yeah, there it is right there. So I'm going to export this file here. This is a different computer, that's why it needs to, I have to show it where to put the files and stuff. And I have all my radio stuff here. This is FTM300. Programming software profiles right there. Comma defib, there's the file yesterday we did, number 9. So I just saved that CSV file. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the 7250, and I'm just going to create a new tab, and I'm going to close this tab out, and I'm going to do File, Import, and that's the file right there I just imported right there. So we're going to build a 7250 file. Okay, that all looks good there. Very good. That looks good. Let me go back and clean up some of these names a little bit, and I'll be right back. Actually, what we'll do is we'll do Save As, and I'm going to save this as number 5, and I'm going to put today's date on here, 11-23-20. 11-23-20-2022.ftm7250. Let me clean these up real quick. Okay, on the 7250, the file names are real short, so I had to go through and kind of abbreviate some of these. And I also fixed the problem with that repeater on KE5LGG. I added the tone there, so that file's good to go. And the last one I'll do is the FTM3D programmer. And this is a file I had open a couple of days ago, and all I have to do is go here to this repeater here, and I have to turn on tone only, and the tone is 88.5. And there we go right there. So I'm going to do save. So that's good to go now. So now I've got all this stuff working. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 991A. And let's see, hopefully that file will be here. There it is right there. That's the one we worked on. So what I would got to fix here is this repeater right here, this KE5LGG. I've got to turn the tone on, and I'm going to set it to 88.5. And we'll be golden. All right, that looks good. So now I've got everything where we want it. This all looks good here. I think we are ready to save this. So what I'm going to do is I've got the FT991A connected right now. And let's see here, let me close this tab out. This is a good tab here. So I talked yesterday a little bit about the menu settings. So let me fix that right there. Right here on preferences, I'm going to keep the menu settings same. So I think what's going to happen is, and let me make sure I have all these matching correctly real quick here. I'm going to try to go quickly. Preferences, settings, radio menu settings. So on, let me see, on FM, I've got meter. And this one here, I've got squelch. Doesn't really make a big deal, but I'm going to match it. I'm looking at the radio, and this one is power, RF, power. Now I'm going to go over to single sideband. I've got meter, RF, power. This needs to be changed to squelch. Squelch right there, and this one here needs to be changed to memory channel, MCH. All right, so meter, RF, power, squelch. These are the F buttons that you see at the bottom. Let me go to AM, meter, squelch, RF, power right here. And this one's MCH. So all these will have MCH, so this all looks good. Get that noise out of here. Okay, so these are the function buttons. Let me make sure I've got my timeout timer set to 3 minutes. All this looks good. I've got the scope, color blue is good. Peak meter hold, I'm going to turn it on. Group monitor display, distance shows. So all this looks good. My call sign KI5 KI5JUF, and I'm going to put dash Steve KI5JUF. Then this is what the radio is going to show. So everything else, I think we're looking okay here. Might gain, all these are already set. Might gain output level. I just want to make sure none of my speech processor settings get overwritten, because that would be horrible. All this looks good. This all looks good here. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and close this, apply changes and close. So now what I'm going to do is I've got the radio connected, and we're going to go ahead and send it to the radio. So what I've got all my channels here. This all looks good. Yeah, these all look good. Okay, this looks good. Let me make sure I got that repeater. Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to send data to radio. So I'll kind of let you watch on the screen what happens. Okay, insert the cable, which I've already done. It's a RT42 into the back of the radio. And see where it says here you can actually overwrite the menus. I'm going to leave this unchecked because I really don't want to change the menus. But if you were to check this, all those changes that I did earlier would be overwritten to the radio. But I like the radio just the way I got it, so I'm going to leave the menus alone. And now what we're going to do is we're going to leave this at 38400. And now we're sending data to the radio. So this takes a few minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. But what will happen is it's going to ask you to come up and power cycle the radio, and we'll we'll go through that. So I'll just stop the video here. Okay, guys, this message has come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the radio off and back on. You might hear it click in the background. I'm going to wait about 20 seconds. And there we go. Now when the radio comes back on, let's see what happens here. Press OK. All right. It actually it looks good. Everything took good. Wow, this is cool. Everything's here. Let me try that repeater real quick. That 140. Let's see here. That's 70 centimeter. I like this because I got a whole bunch of talk frequencies on here now. I'm going to check that LGT repeater. This is KI5JUF monitoring. It works. Cool. We have the system working, so everything looks good. So this all looks good. One thing I want to show you, I forgot to show you on the 7250, there is a feature here. See this P1 right here on the 7250? I'm going to put the Clyde repeater as the primary one, and you can actually change this. You can set any of these to be priority one, like see how I just did that there? Set priority channel. I'm going to put this back up here. Whoops, I want to undo that. And I'm going to set this one to priority again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and I'm going to download this software into the 7250. I have a cable that I'm going to use. And I'm also going to update the FTM300. So let me go do that real quick, and then we'll wrap this up here. Let's see. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back here. So what I was going to do now is I'm going to actually update the FT300, and I have the programming cable, which is there's a part number for it. It's a USB-68. I got it from DX Engineering. All right, so there is the FT300. So I'm going to go to settings, communication, send data to radio, and you have to enter your call sign, KI5J. And then we're going to hit OK. Okay, plug in the cable, press and hold the display while turning on the radio. Just follow the instructions. And then it's going to come up and says press and hold display, verify display says clone, press receive, and then verify that the radio says okay, okay. Okay, it's apparently not working. Let's see here, let me try it again. Let's see, preferences, send data to radio. Okay, press and hold display, verify on radio says clone, press the receive key on the radio. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm going to try it again here. I actually had the keypad locked on the radio, so it wasn't actually receiving anything. All right, so now we're updating the FT300. We'll let this one go through real quick. All right, the FT300 upgraded perfectly, and I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write the image for the FTM300 to the SD drive, and I'll go out in the van and install it, and we'll be good to go. I'm going to send the send data to radio. Hold on. I send data to SD drive. Write data to SD drive. Okay, write data to SD drive, and it looks good. All right, that's it. That's the video. I just wanted to kind of take you through, let you watch some of the interactions with the RT system software, fixing, the tone, how to, create that CSV file. that I talked about. So anyway, I hope it's fun. I mean, this is kind of boring, but I figured if anyone's interested in RT system and you want to see what the software looks like, this gives you just some examples. So again, thanks again, 73 from KI5JUF. Have a great Thanksgiving if I don't do another video, 73.